Without silver, there probably wouldn't be a Park City. In 1866, soldiers discovered silver in Park City, a lot of silver. So began Park City's rich mining past. What started off as a small mining camp grew to include 27 saloons, a red light district, its own Chinatown, and over 1,000 miles of mine tunnels. Park City became one of the most prolific silver-producing boom towns in the world. In 1950, after silver prices collapsed and most of Park City's mines had closed, some sources mistakenly declared Park City to be a ghost town. Then, in 1963, the federal government gave $1.25 million to Park City for use in starting a ski resort. And the rest is history. World-class ski resorts, the 2002 Winter Olympics, the Sundance Film Festival, and many other attractions have put Park City on the international map. Park City places great importance and effort in preserving and maintaining its connection to its mining heritage.
I started seeing Park City when I was 8. It was 1963, and half our town was abandoned, and there was about 650 residents, and the history was so evident everywhere here, in a dilapidated form, and the movement to try to preserve all these things over the last 45 years has been phenomenal. A lot of local heroes associated with getting that done, but it's one of those things that regardless how we evolve, it's part of us, it's part of the fabric, so it needs to be protected.
But the fact is, we've done a terrific job of preserving our residential historical past in town. The laws are pretty clear on what you can and cannot do. We've also done a terrific job of preserving our commercial historic mining past, i.e. Main Street. What we've done less of a good job is preserving the engine, the industrial engine behind all of that, which is these buildings that exist up here on the mountain slopes.
Many of the mining buildings of Park City's industrial engine have fallen victim to the passage of time and only exist in photographs.
I began working at the Park City Museum in 1998, and I think it was the first month on the job, I got a phone call that the Keith Kearns Mill had come down. And so we went hiking, and it was gone.
I think our history here, our mining history especially, is really the beginnings of Park City, and having some tangible reminders of that in terms of the mine building shows where we came from. Even though we're not a mining town now, the heroic efforts of the past really has led to the successes we have in the present.
At the museum, there was something called cultural tourism that caught on kind of about halfway through my tenure there, about women make the decisions where the family wants to travel, and they want to go a place where there's culture. And Park City has it, and a lot of it is the 100 mining structures, all of the buildings that are saved on Main Street, and now we need to include the mining structures.
Well, it brings a lot of people here, and they hear about the mining industry, and they want to have a look at what mining was like in the good old days.
Our guests aren't just interested in the on-mountain experience. They want the Main Street experience. They want to understand and feel a part of the heritage and the legacy. What's incredible about a community like Park City is that what came before the skiing, and that was mining. And certainly the community's passion for that and that preservation and the ongoing legacy for future generations is clearly so important.
We should be on red alert with regard to the historic structures in our community. We've sat back and watched them dilapidate and deteriorate. And most of those buildings were built with wood, which naturally deteriorates and dissipates to nothing. Now is the moment, because in 10 years from now we may not have that opportunity.
This has been something I've been working on for 30 years, ever since we moved to town. I wanted to know the stories of these mines. And once I knew the stories of these mines, I learned how they were built. And then right before my very eyes for the last 30 years, they've been falling apart, just like everything does that's man-made. So if we don't save them now, there's going to be nothing to save.
Spearheaded by the enthusiasm and passion of Sally Elliott and co-chaired by Rory Murphy and Sandra Morrison, Friends of Ski Mountain Mining History was formed. A nonprofit 5013C organization, its mission statement is to stabilize and preserve the legacy of Park City's historic mining structures. Supporters of the organization include Park City Mountain Resort, parent company Vail, Park City residents, tourists, and other friends that cherish mountain skiing and the historic mine sites. Of the 70 mines which once operated in Park City, about half are within the boundaries of Park City Mountain Resort. Many of the mine sites are dilapidated and in need of repair. It is important to the Friends of Ski Mountain Mining History to preserve this rich mining legacy for future residents and visitors.
Our group just wants to thank you for the efforts you made on behalf of these structures and our deepest appreciation to you.
Rehabilitating the structural integrity of those, whether it's a mine building or a tram tower or a head frame like up by the Montage, the Daily West. So I think that's critically important, and that is honoring the past and carrying our past into the future so that visitors, whether it's cultural tourism or whether it's a ski experience or people who actually live here, can look around and see the legacy from the past carried forward. And I think that's, for me, that's what preserving these structures is about.
It's been really fun to ski Park City, to ski past the mining history. It's really been sad to see the mining history buildings crumble, and it's time we did something to fix them and to restore that fun aspect of skiing in Park City.
Friends of Ski Mountain Mining History has selected 7 priority mine structures to be stabilized, all of which are at the Park City Mountain Ski Resort. Park City Mountain has kick-started the program with a significant financial commitment.
We did have some obligations for historical preservation, and I think it was an incredibly positive and exciting opportunity to actually bring resources to the table to identify. I mean, no one has actually mapped and identified all the mining relics that are on Park City Mountain property. And so first we did that, then we brought our own money to the table to begin a fundraising effort that has just taken off like I've never seen before. I have never seen a community, and this is largely attributable to Sally Elliott and Rory Murphy, but I've never seen a community rally together to actually raise funds and come together with us as a partner and with Park City Municipal to preserve and maintain the preservation of these mining relics. So we identified 7 projects that we're going to be working on over the next 5 years, and it's exciting. It's exciting to be part of community passion, and we applaud the community for wanting to help us highlight these structures. And where else in the United States do you ski alongside these buildings?
In the summer of 2016, stabilization work was done to the King Khan water tanks and the California Comstock ore processing building, which was nearing collapse. 4th-generation Park City miner Clark Martinez headed up the California Comstock restoration project.
You know, these are the old shaker tables, so everything, there used to be a trestle that come across the top of this, and they dump all the muck up in the top and crush it. And you know, I'd like my great-grandkids to stand here and see it. You know, it's just important to save history. Like say 100 years from now, it'd be cool if somebody can stand here and say, wow, this has been here over 200 years. It's an amazing structure to have built in the late 1800s.
I think it's a big part of who we are. It's our character. It reminds us of the roots we came from. It's something that gives me great joy. I spent a lot of time in the outdoors and on the trails, and these mining structures in particular are something that it's always fun to ride by. It reminds us what we used to be, how far we've come, and it gives us our soul, and without it, I think it would be a very different town.
The reason it's a community project is because it doesn't belong to anybody else, it belongs to us. And Vail has been an amazing partner. We have a 5-year fundraising plan to restore our first 7 priorities.
In addition to the California Comstock Building, the 6 other priority structures to be stabilized and preserved are the Thanes Mine Hoist House. This shaft complex was built in 1937 and included a mine tunnel that unloaded skiers via an underground skier subway. The subway operated from 1964 to 1969. The Thanes Mine Conveyor Gallery is the result of a feudal exploration by the Silver King Coalition. The conveyor took the overburden material from the shaft and dumped it here.
At the Jupiter Mine ore bin, valuable silver-bearing ore was loaded via the ore bin's chutes onto horse-drawn wagons. It was a wild downhill ride to a mill in town. This structure is all that remains of the mining complex. The Silver King Mine is a source of some of Park City's best stories and greatest fortunes. Susanna Egeria, Bransford Emery Holmes, Dielich Engelitcheff was Utah's Silver Queen. Her fortune came from the Silver King Mine. The King Khan Mine ore bin is all that remains of this once very large mine that existed at this location. The King Khan's Bogan shaft, at 1,800 feet deep, sits adjacent to this site. Overhead mine ore trams were the direct precursors of modern ski chairlift technology. The 4-compartment King Khan Mine counterweight held boxes of heavy rocks that anchored the King Khan tram. Please note that Park City mine structures are potentially dangerous places and are not to be entered. Exposed nails and collapsed floors are but a few of the hazards. So how can you help Friends of Ski Mountain Mining History preserve these historic mining structures? Please donate. Your contributions will help to stabilize these structures. Please go to Park City Museum's website at parkcityhistory.org. It has a Friends of Ski Mountain Mining History page where your tax-deductible online contributions can be made. Please attend our awareness and fundraising events and tell your friends and family about this effort. We need everyone's help to save our history.
I think these mine ruins around the ski resorts and around town are such a community treasure that everybody who values life in Park City needs to value the life that came before the life we have now. And I think it behooves everyone with any appreciation of community to contribute to this fund so we can keep these treasures around.
Well, it's what makes Park City Park City. Rome without the Colosseum would still be a really cool city, it just wouldn't be Rome anymore. Park City without these mining structures would still be a great ski town, a great ski mountain, just wouldn't be Park City.